the most dangerous mindset I've seen as a therapist. You already know we're back with another fucking banger of a video. Like, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Now, I have made a couple videos if you guys haven't seen. Check them out. They're in the top left corner, about, being happy, about, being mentally healthy, right? It is a huge thing, and it is very difficult, at least for me in the past couple months. Luckily, I really feel like I have, for now, found my peace, and hopefully it's not temporary. But as of right now, bro, this video will probably hit pretty hard. So let's just see what he has to say, man. I'm an open-minded person, so I'm very curious to see what this is about.
There is a tendency that I'm seeing more often in my work as a counselor. It's concerning. It's this tendency of having a very, very little tolerance for how long people are willing to suck at something. A very low tolerance for how long they're willing to kind of struggle and toil and fail in their attempt.
And I don't want to pause a lot. It is a short video, so I'm gonna have him talk as much as possible. But in my eyes, for now, the reason behind why people have such little patience, basically tolerance and patience, it's very similar. The reason why people have very little patience to learning new things is because of scrolling. The scrolling epidemic, right? The reels, the TikToks, right? Seeing the instant gratification, constantly seeing viral videos that you forget 10 seconds later, and you can't even recall after 3 hours 2 fucking reels you saw. All this, us having our dopamine receptors fried, it all scientifically just goes back into a plain, simple sentence. We are so used to having things fast, having the best, most viral, most dopamine maxing shit on our screen, that we can't find enjoyment in progressing slowly, right? Let's say you want to do calisthenics, you want to learn how to handstand. Well, first, you got to do 10 push-ups. Let's say it takes a week for you to get to 10, right? You're a little, unfit. Okay, you finally got to 10, you get that dopamine. Let's go, I got to 10. You use the wall and you help get assisted with those handstands, or you get, what I'm saying? Like, I can go on and on, but the point is, we got so used to, having things come fast to us because of social media, because of what we see, that our tolerance has been insanely low
to attain a certain goal. So I make this video because it's such a concerning predicament, because I want to talk about what I think they're losing when they forego that experience of the toil and struggle and failure. But also, too, I want to talk about why I think it's so easy to perpetuate, and why I so fully understand and empathize with where they're coming from. So first, let's start there. Like, looking at this situation, like trying to picture myself as a 15-year-old or something, being told, "Hey, read Catcher in the Rye, and I want you to write this 5-paragraph essay on it." I certainly can understand being like, no, guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Why do I want to sit there and read this book, words on a page, boring the piss out of me, and then try to sit here in front of a blank page and write 5 pages worth of material about what I thought on it? Yeah. Kick rocks. ChatGPT's got me.
Said kick rocks, bro. Yeah, if he's gonna go the AI route, fuck says that.
What?
If he's gonna go the AI route and say like AI is also ruining it, I fully agree that as well. When I say social media, I'm kind of including AI.
AI exists. Get away from me.
Right.
I get it. I understand where they're coming from, right? Same thing with sports. Like, why would I want to join this team? Everybody else is already close-knit. They're friends. They've been on this team for 2 years. They're looking at me like, who's this guy? And I suck. I'm throwing the ball like an absolute idiot, and everybody's looking at me, and I don't like how this makes me feel. Why would I do this when I could just go play video games? This is much more fun. Why am I going to go talk to that girl and try to get a girlfriend when I've got a simulated version of that right here in my pocket, and that'll take care of what I'm looking for, at least for now, at least for this moment. And that's kind of the issue. We are sacrificing a piece of ourselves on the altar of convenience every time we take the counterfeit
instant
version.
gratification, basically, bro. Instant gratification. You don't want to go through that struggle. You want to take the easy path, and life has never been easier when it comes to choosing what path you want to take. it's never been easier to take the easy path than now, if that makes sense.
Right? I'm going to take counterfeit version. I'm going to take counterfeit version that's going to satiate this feeling right now. And there's major issue with that because we're not even realizing that we're on a steady diet of this counterfeit bullshit because we don't have enough time away from our phones in general to have intentionality, to have deep, insightful thought in our own lives, contemplating, what am I doing? Is this how I want to do things? Not having any perspective on ourselves or our lives because we're just in it piece by piece, moment by moment, eating the counterfeit. And so that's kind of why I'm saying I understand why this is so concerning. And social media exacerbates and kind of facilitates this environment of the perceived, of the aesthetic, of just do the surface level, just shine that surface, just make it presentable, boom. Just fix it, quick fix, all about the looks. That is why I get the concern and I empathize with it. But I don't think we put so much thought into how deeply detrimental it is to us. I don't have a good word for or understanding of exactly what it is we're leaving behind. Maybe you do. What we're leaving behind when we forgo that time of toil and struggle. But it's like when you read that book and you're bored and you don't know if you can get to it, you're learning something about discipline and how you push yourself and what does motivate you and what do you really want out of this life. And then you're sitting there with the blank page and you're thinking about the book and you're actually being honest and earnest in your attempt to pull something from who you are and what you understand, what you make of this place and the words that were written on the page. And you're kind of coming up with something brand new with the synergy of those two concepts. And you're making something new, all your own, your fresh own ideas on the page. There's something so beautiful and transcendent and improving about that.
My version of this is making music. If you guys haven't heard my music, check it out. If you guys like rap, J. Cole, lyrical storytelling rap that makes you think on a deep level, check it out. I really do think that it's great. I've been working on it for years. And so this is my version of it. And I really wish, at the end of the video, I'll speak upon this a little more, but I want everybody watching to, if you guys don't have your version of this creating, this outlet to create something, it can be videos, it can be music, it can be working out right now. I mean, it can be a lot of things, but if you guys feel like you guys don't have your version of it, look into it, man. This is the sign. If you guys are watching this right now, look at me. Look into this. Look into your version of this creating, right? It's truly going to make your life better. I do believe that.
They're just leaving on the table. It's like there's this whole garden in you that can grow, and you can be this incredibly enriched person. But the soil, the enriched soil that is needed for that kind of internal garden only comes from that time under tension. It only comes from being the new guy in the boxing gym who doesn't know how to throw a punch and is embarrassed as the guy next to him makes the bag sound like it's a war zone. You know what I mean? There's something in that you learn. And I don't mean just, I'm learning the skill of boxing and now I'm a better boxer. I mean, why am I insecure? I'm learning about brotherhood. I'm learning about camaraderie. There's these internal things that'll happen too. These things that will happen to you that pull on all of these existential questions left, right, and center, and you're going to go...
We're essentially skipping the process of struggle. And in that process, right, everybody says there's beauty in the struggle, right? There's beauty in the struggle. Well, we're skipping that beauty, right? And there really is beauty in the struggle. That's not just a saying. There really is. Character development, male canon events, all these things and topics that happen to us in our life, it happens for a reason, right? There's another quote, everything happens for a reason. And so you can't skip these things. But social media and life itself has been developed in the recent modern times where it's easier than ever to skip these things. And now we're seeing the consequences because of it.
Wow, I know myself so much better. But what in the world is AI going to teach you about yourself? What in the world is the video game going to teach you about yourself? And maybe that one has a little bit more merit than I'm giving. I'm not a video game person, but there's probably more merits in the video games. But with the videos on your phone, what is that going to help you with? What's it going to give you, like, that's true here? I don't know. I don't think a whole lot. And I worry about that tendency for kids, younger individuals, and even older individuals, and even myself, to just give up more of who we could be, and just handing it over to convenience, for the perception, for the aesthetic, for the sheen on top, to just get us to the next hit. I guess that's just a life dictated by dopamine or something, And it's not a life I want to live. So I'm trying to break out of it for myself and do more that pushes me out of my comfort zone, that teaches me more about myself. I don't do enough of it. And I'm trying to help with these clients to understand the benefit of that toil. Anyway, what do you guys think about that? And what are we leaving behind when we say, I'm just going to hit the convenient button? That was easy. What are we giving up?
Well, listen, bro. I really like this video. I really fuck with these deep topic videos. I'm gonna share my 2 cents on this, and I say this at the end of every video. I reply to every comment, bro. So let's have a conversation down below. Now, listen. I myself am guilty, just like you, just like him, just like everybody else on this planet in 2026. If you have air in your lungs, you are guilty of this. Maybe not to the same degree as others, but I am guilty of pressing that convenient button, just like he said, of skipping. School-wise, I do this a lot. I used ChatGPT this morning for my assignment, bro. Believe it or fucking not. And, do I feel regret? No. Why? Because I'm trying to get my degree and get a job. When I get a job, am I going to use AI? If AI doesn't replace me, probably, I don't know. I'll figure it out then. But that's what he's saying, that temporary fix, right? Why would I get a girlfriend when I have porn on my pocket, right? It's a temporary fix. I'll figure it out when the time comes type of mentality. It's very damaging for certain things, but like I believe in life, there is a balance. It can be damaging when it comes to the girlfriend situation, or when it comes to, why would I write this essay, blah, 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 when I have ChatGPT. But it can also be beneficial. If you're trying to get that degree and you're taking fucking arts 101, but you're studying medical, right? You're taking one of those electives in college, right? Which I'm sure a lot of people have been guilty of this. But there's nothing to be guilty about, because it's a benefit. Hey, I'm not interested in this class, but I have to take it. Okay, I'll do the work, but I'll use ChatGPT. I'll use AI, right? But I'm going to still do the shit. And so that's fine. There's a time and a place for everything, right? It's 5 o'clock somewhere, as people say. So pressing that convenient button is convenient sometimes, but is inconvenient other times in the future. So, like I said, if you guys are watching this far into the video, look at me in the eyes when I say this. If you guys haven't found your version of creating, if you guys haven't found your version of having an outlet to let go, right? It can be taking baths, bro. I started doing that recently. I take baths 1 time per week. At the end of a heavy workout or a heavy day, or mentally, I don't even have to do much the whole day. I can just feel mentally heavy. I tell myself, okay, let's get through today. I'll reward myself tonight by taking a bath. 20-minute bath, nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice outlet. That's just an example. But you guys need to do research. And when I say research, I'm not saying go online or go on ChatGPT and be like, what do I, blah, 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 blah. No. When I say do research, I mean go live. I mean go figure yourself out. I mean learn what you like to do. That's becoming a terrible thing that people don't have anymore. I tried out a lot of things, right? 8 years ago, I made my first YouTube video. 9 years ago. Like I said, been doing music for a while. I tried out a lot of video games. I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube from a YouTube video. I can go on and on. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but that drive to completely try as many things that you possibly can, it's not going to be there for a long time. The time to do it isn't going to be there. You think you're going to do this shit when you're 50? No. right? You're going to be exhausted. So that's my take on it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Comment down below, like I said. And I'll see you guys in my next one. God bless and peace.